it's Cheri Dotterer here at Tier 1 Interventions Podcast. I'm here today with Jonily Zupancic, and we are in class today with a live group of ladies and gentlemen who are learning about the Mastery Math method. So I'm going to let Jonily talk, and if there's any intervention that I want to add to the puzzle, we will do. But for now, I'm signing it all over to Jonily, and let us learn a little bit about mathematics, girl.
Y'all, this is Jay-Z. I'm Jonily Zupancic. I'm your math specialist, your main matheneer. If you are listening to this podcast or you're watching this podcast on YouTube, I want to give a disclaimer and a warning. This is level 2. You're listening in on a level 2 version of Mastery Math Method. So by the time kids are in middle school, they have subconsciously said, may not even realize what they're saying to themselves. But they're saying to themselves, if I just sit back and do nothing, someone else is going to answer the question. And if another student doesn't answer the question, the teacher will. So by the end of class, sometimes within 30 seconds, somebody's going to answer the question for them. So they have been trained to not think. We've done this to them. It is not the student's fault. Thoughts, comments, questions on that?
You were right.
Is that all? You were right?
For now.
Yes, that's all. She's right.
Cheri, you are the master of neuroscience. Do you have any connections to make with that?
Oh, Kirk just makes me laugh. Sorry. I got distracted by the chuckle inside. Think about Shakespeare for a moment. Shakespeare had the what, 3-act play? Isn't he the one that was famous for the 3-act play? Krista? Come on, you guys didn't excel in literature? I
No,
totally get
we're
that.
all
Totally
here
get
for
that.
math, Cheri. I don't know anything about literature.
I don't know anything about literature either, but think about the 3-act play. If you resolve the problem in Act 1, there's no need for Act 3.
Holy
Bar! You gotta watch it. This is going up online, girl.
I just said fart. So Dan Meyer also created many, and this connects to what Cheri said about the plays, 3-act math tasks. Look this up. It went viral years ago before viral even existed. 3-act math, the number 3-act math. It's the exact math version of what Cheri's talking about with plays. Think about a book. If you read a fiction book, I think fiction is the not real. Okay. Guys, I struggle with anything but math. I'm good at math. So think about if you read a chapter book, there's 12 chapters. If we answer all the questions, just like Cheri said, in chapter 2, why would I read chapter 3? This is how we want you to teach math. The Mastery Math method is exactly that. Exactly that. Krista has a favorite 3-act math. It's the rope jumper. I've never seen that one. If you're listening to this, look it up, the rope jumper. Natalie, one strategy to bring back when they don't have anything to say is to have Natalie, wait a minute. Good teaching here. So Natalie says one strategy to bring them back when they don't have anything to say. So when you prompt and there's silence is to have them restate in their own words or add on to what someone else said. Natalie, this is profound. This is absolutely beautiful. And I will do this a lot. So if Jenny said something earlier and then I'm asking something and nobody says anything, I will use my favorite 3 words. Tell me about, okay, guys, this is awkward. All I want you to do right now is tell me about what Jenny said. Tell me what Jenny said. Because all I want them to do is to speak, even if they're paraphrasing or replicating. Natalie, fantastic. what do you call that, Natalie? We're going to coin this for you. What can we name? Okay, Natalie, think about this because I want this to be yours. This is going to be Natalie's strategy. When a student restates in their own words what someone else has said, Natalie, we need a name for that. You have to name it. And we're going to call it the Natalie strategy, and it's going to have a name. And Cheri and I teach on focus triggers. Okay, focus triggers. What I've just talked about, what Natalie just gave an example of, is an example of a focus trigger. So, Natalie, you're going to name your focus trigger, and the definition of your focus trigger is going to be when you prompt and you wait, you give wait time, still nobody responds. What do we do next as an educator? Your strategy is to have them restate in their own words what someone else has said. And Natalie, you're going to name that, and it's going to be one of our named focus triggers.
I just think of it as how everyone can notice something, everyone can contribute to. Like, I'm not asking you to have the answer, but you're part of the conversation. I don't know if that names it, but that's just the thinking. Like, everyone can be part of this, whether you have something to say or not, and then that just snowballs the conversation from there as people continue to add on. But you can't just sit there and not be part of it, because you can do that. Everyone can restate.
And this is another important component of the Mastery Math method. And that is when I lost my train of thought, but I'm going to get it back because Natalie said, and the restate and the everybody can contribute. Blah, 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 blah. I got it. Okay. So leveling the playing field. That's what I was thinking. And then it went in and out of my brain so quickly, I had to retrieve it again. Leveling the playing field. If our priority is always answer getting and solving, as it should not be, but if our priority is answer getting and solving, we always have kids who can and kids who can't. We've already polarized our classroom. If the priority is answer getting and solving, we are creating strong polarization of our students. We have kids that can and kids that can't, and a whole continuum of kids in the middle. But if we focus on thinking, reasoning, and sense making, and this goes to Natalie's point, everybody can tell me about. Everybody can notice. Everybody can do these things. So it levels the playing field. We're all on the same playing field before we start answer getting and solving. Go ahead, Cheri, you're showing us something.
Oh, you're mute.
Oh, she's muted. She's saying wonderful words, and we can't hear a word
We
she's
can't hear
saying.
her.
I can see them. I can feel the energy through your mutation. Go
I
ahead.
am so sorry. Mute. Cheri, remove the mute. Okay. This is from our masterclass on Wednesday night. And this is a direct quote from something Amy said last year while we were recording Level 1 Mastery Math Method. And she said, one of the things I like about the Mastery Math Method is what I love is every kid has an entry point. That's exactly what we're talking about here. Every kid can contribute. It's the same thing that happens when we're looking at dyslexia instruction. It benefits, all the kids are benefiting from what they're teaching with the dyslexia. Mastery Math Method is the way to get that same effect in mathematics.
Well, Jonily, you always say, tell me, what about, what did you hear? Because you're just restating it. So instead of what did you see or tell me about, what did you hear?
Here we
Tell
go,
me
Teresa.
right now, what did you just hear?
Teresa's prime prompt. Okay, we need to make a list of prime prompts.
Because but it's Natalie's. What did you just hear? Repeat what you just heard. You don't have to say anything else. Just tell me what you just heard. Something like that. Repeat what you heard.
Hey everybody, it's Cheri again. If you're loving these strategies and you want to join our Mastery Math Method Masterclass, we hold this hour-long event once a month, and we'd love to have you join. What we talk about there is how to improve your math skills in 10 days. Can you imagine 10 days? Whether you're a math teacher or an occupational therapist, you can see exactly how to shift teaching so that every student no matter their starting point, can master core math concepts and reserve your seat today. And go over to disabilitylabs.com/calendar to check out the next event.
So what is one word, and we don't have to answer this now, but what is one word? Like, for example, there's a book, and I got this as a new teacher at this new district I'm partnering with this year that I'm teaching in the classroom for a few classes. We got the book, Teach Like a Champion. So if you've ever heard the book, Teach Like a Champion, if you haven't, look it up. But it's been out for years and years, multiple versions. Teach Like a Champion has certain things, systems and processes that are in place to create high productivity in schools. And one of the strategies in Teach Like a Champion is called track. So I used this in my classroom last week, as a matter of fact. So I had a student sharing something and there were some side conversations. So I stopped everybody and I said, hey, we're going to learn this strategy. And what this means is when a student is talking, you're going to track them. So I'm going to say, track Natalie. And so I'm telling the students, okay, so you need to focus and pay attention. When you track, that means you turn your body, you look at the person. In Teach Like a Champion, they use spirit fingers. You do that toward the person to show that you're tracking them. So I said, okay, let's try this. So Natalie, don't say anything else yet. You're going to start over in a minute. Let's practice this. Okay, track Natalie. Boom, everybody turns and Natalie talks. Okay. My point is, we want to create our own versions of that for Math Classroom. So what Natalie is describing, so we want some like prompt points here. So what Natalie is describing, we want one word to describe that. But Teresa, what you just contributed is different. Like, we're creating this as we go right now. So Teresa has another prompt that we need to add to our list. And that is, what did you hear? But that's not the same as the name of the strategy, which is going to be Natalie's. Okay. We're going to extract all of this from our level 2 this year. Like, we as level 2 group, we're going to create this. And then all of you are going to contribute. And then all of you, your name is going to be attached to your contribution. Because Cheri and I already have a bunch of focus triggers and things that we've named. So now we have 2 more examples. We have another prompt for Teresa's credit. What did you hear? And then what's the strategy called? Credited to Natalie, and we'll name that. Anything else? Okay.
I think I wanted to add something about storytelling.
Oh, please, yes.
In the world of marketing, one of the key strategies to marketing whatever it is that you're trying to sell, even you getting up in the morning and trying to sell your spouse on who gets to use the bathroom first. Okay, so go as simple as that, but it can be as complex as somebody getting marketed to purchase Mastery Math Method. Okay, there is always a story to tell. There's always a story to tell. And when I think about that 3-act play, we have the Russell Brunson model of hook, story, offer. How are we hooking our kids? What is the story that is behind the hook? And how are we offering to solve the solution, to solve the problem to the story? Isn't that what mathematics is supposed to be doing? Is the hook, story, offer? When have we lost hook, story, offer in our way of delivering mathematics?
Okay, here's another thing that I do in my classroom. I just shared a Teach Like a Champion strategy with track and use the spirit fingers. I teach high school, so I don't have my kids use the spirit fingers for the tracking from Teach Like a Champion. The way that I use spirit fingers is an example that I'm going to respond to what Cheri just said. You all saw this. If you're watching this on the YouTube podcast, you saw me do this. I do spirit fingers up in the air. Okay, I used to be a cheerleader. Okay, so I do spirit fingers if I'm loving what you're saying. So I don't have to say it out loud. I don't have to interrupt her thought. I don't have to be obnoxious. So, like the students in my classroom, I'm training them right now. Like, I absolutely loved what Cheri was saying. It was beautiful. I'm not even going to repeat it because I can't even say it better than she did. But what I did in the background is I have spirit fingers up in the air. And that is the nonverbal quiet response. And this is also creating the culture in my classroom. If you have spirit fingers, it may not mean that you agree, but oftentimes it also means there's a different symbol for agree. I don't know if some of you use this symbol with your thumb and your little finger. That's the universal educational sign that I agree with you, and you can use that too. I agree with you is different than, oh, I love what you're saying. Okay. So in my room, even with high schoolers, we will spirit finger if somebody's talking and you love what they're saying instead of verbally being obnoxious. And Cheri, spirit fingers. Okay.
You're also doing a variation on clapping your hands if you're deaf, which is what I'll often do is I'll do this because that's clapping your hands if you're deaf.
Now, Kirk, this is important, Kirk. You ask a very important question.
I had a feeling it was. I need to know.
Because here's the thing, Kirk. I was a cheerleader. So I'm gonna give you this analogy. I was a cheerleader. So
Hold on, stop one moment.
Yeah.
The comment from Kirk was, what is the difference between spirit fingers and jazz hands? I need a tutorial. So for the people in the audience who didn't get, that's what Jonily is answering right now.
So I was a cheerleader, and spirit fingers are like, here, if I do this with my screen, spirit fingers are like way up in the air. Okay. Because it's, okay. It's, oh my God. Okay. If I'm at a concert and I'm like, whoa, spirit fingers, those are up in the air. Jazz hands are like the end of a statement. Mic drop. Okay. So let me stand up. Let me stand up because, Kirk, here's the thing. I was a dancer growing up too. Being a dancer is different than being a cheerleader. Okay. So there's a difference. You got to know this difference. I can't move in this office. Okay. There's a difference between being a dancer and being a cheerleader. Okay. So being a dancer, you might do da-da, and you're like finished, and it's da. Jazz hands are like the exclamation point on the statement. Like I'm going to be presenting something and I'm trying to think of it. I'm like off the top of my head. So like I say, oh, here's something I say a lot. Okay. Improving number sense is not intervention at the secondary level. Okay. I say this a lot. Improving number sense is not intervention at the secondary level. It's like regular instruction. So this is another paradigm shift. And so I'll say that I'll be like, I'll be in a presentation and I'll say, improving number sense is not intervention at the secondary level. It's regular instruction. See, that's a jazz hand. Okay. It's not a spirit finger. Okay. Let's.
Thank you for that.
Huh? What'd you say?
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So this is really emotional and personal, what we're doing. And I don't even know what the end is. Anyway, I love you guys. Okay. So let's get back to the locker problem. Remember, we have math to do today. Natalie's like, Jonily, I came here for the math. Can you just get back to the math? Okay. I will. Natalie's spicy today.
I think I have 3 words.
Yes.
If we're in class, okay, who can support, clarify, or repeat what so-and-so just said? I don't know if I can make that one word, but that's the strategy I got.
Love it.
That's what's brewing right now.
Love it. Keep brewing. Keep brewing. Keep brewing. Okay, my lovely loves. All right. So student 4 is going to come through. Now you notice what I did here. This is really explicit direct instruction, what I did on the locker problem. And then I do a lot of responsive teaching, which I actually just modeled here with all of you adults. but this is how I want you to do it in your classroom. You just saw direct explicit instruction. When we all have the locker game board, we're taking notes. It's different than the way math notes usually look, but this is an example when I'm putting the numbers in the locker spaces and I'm having kids mimic that and model me and copy me. This is explicit direct instruction. This is different than what you might think of as explicit direct instruction, but this is how a reference task is used for explicit direct instruction. But then we went way off on this tangent that had nothing to do with this, but it had everything to do with this. We think those tangents we go on are wasting time. So we don't do them in the classroom because we have to focus on the mathematics. But what we're not understanding is what we think of as wasting everything that I just did before I came back to the explicit direct instruction, which is ad lib, which was like on the spot, which was responsive teaching, is absolutely necessary in our math classrooms. And we fear it, so we don't do it. But I'm telling you, it's the thing that is missing. So the reason we do explicit direct instruction is so that we can have these tangents. Then we can come back because those tangents are when the best learning is created. This is what the flavor of instruction is in the Mastery Math method. We're modeling this for you right now. Everything I'm doing with you, I want you to do with your kids. So yes, we're still teaching standards. We're still doing direct explicit instruction. But in between those times, we're doing bursts of conceptual, experiential, contextual storytelling.
And speaking of perseverance, what happens when we tackle one of the hardest skills for students, double-digit multiplication? In our next episode, we'll show you brain-based ways to teach it without tears or frustration. Until then, remember, every student deserves the chance to see themselves as a mathematician. And as Cheri and Jonily say, go be awesome, go be brilliant, for you were put here for such a time as this.